I got Savannah Evans joining me right now. Are you there?
Yeah, hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I called a second ago and the
Yeah.
Blog Talk Radio picked up and said that this number was unavailable. And I said,
Um.
no, that's not right.
well, what had happened was,
Oh, it's one of those.
this is the Skype number, and
Uh,
I I did
oh,
I upgraded my Skype and it trying to get the kinks out, if you will.
yes.
So technology strikes again.
Right. It's
Yeah.
it's like the best and the worst at the same time.
Yeah. So you and I met. We saw each other recently, maybe a month or two ago, or maybe longer than that. Actually, Girl Fight Wrestling, Jeffersonville, Indiana. That's the second time in a little over a year or two that I've seen you. Shout out to Daisy Day.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Daisy Day. I met
Yes.
you two at the same time. And it's great to have you back on. And you got a busy remainder of 2017. Very, very busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's a crazy schedule, but I'm really excited because it shows me that things are really picking up. And of course, anybody would be happy to have that.
so I mean, I'm reading your Twitter bio, and I love reading the bios. Okay, so this is at Savannah Evans NV, and I quote, not to be Makakoish or anything, pro wrestler and dog whisperer, the sexy
hmm
young cannibal of sexy young caramels, a queen bat. Hashtag eat you alive. Hashtag appetite for destruction. Uh,
hmm
she deadly, y'all. Um, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Y'all better put her in the top 50, or she might be coming for y'all. I'm just saying.
That's
Uh,
right.
so let's talk about the sexy young caramels.
Yes.
I don't think we talked about this on the first interview per se, but talk about this stable and who's in this group.
Yes. I think you're right. I don't think we talked about sexy and caramels before. Now, to top things off, or to start things rather.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say caramel, some people say caramels.
Okay.
Even within the group, I think we kind of switch back and forth whether it's sexy and caramels or sexy and caramels. I think at one point on like a match graphic when we came out for our entrance, they even spelled caramels like CARMEL. Like they forgot the other A. I was like, well, is that how they're gonna say it? It's like phonetically spelled out.
Mm.
But the sexy on caramels, SYC for short. We liked the abbreviation of sick. We thought that kind of it looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it is essentially it's myself, Savannah Evans, uh, Ariel Monroe, and Devin Nicole. When we were coming up with the group, we had different ideas for we could be this group all over and like it would be like a really cool idea. And Queens of Combat actually took the idea and was like, yeah. Here's what we'd like to do with you guys, and here's our idea. So essentially, Sexy and Caramels, they're not, I guess, they're not okay with being just status quo, ho hum, go there, get the job done. We're loud, we're rambunctious, we're vivacious. Sometimes if we have to rock the boat a little bit, even on accident, that's what we'll do. Like sassy, if you will, if sassy is the correct term. We're the group of sassy black women that aren't just going to sit back and aren't just content with, being mediocre. So that's Sexy on Caramels in a nutshell. And Queens of Combat is where is like kind of our home promotion. We're not too big in other promotions, but that's definitely our home. That's where we got to feel out, our group and each person's part in the group. Ariel's the one who's, over the top, and oftentimes like, Devin's having to bring her back down, or I'm having to bring her back down. And sometimes, I can be the mellow one, but being around, Ariel and Devin, it kicks my character up a notch. So it really just depends. You kind of never know what to expect from us. So, it's our fun group, and and Queens of Combat, and that's where we kind of do our thing. I kind of branched off from, I created another acronym, Sexy Young Caramel. I could do the Sexy Young Cannibal. I could be, the I guess the rough house of the group is how I saw it. So that's how that came about. It's just a little bit of a play on words.
I like the sound of that. Shout out to Ariel Monroe and Devin Nicole. I've interviewed them both before. Ariel Monroe in particular, she did make an appearance on Monday Night Raw. One of applause for that. I don't got no sound bites for that, but but shout out to her. Shout out to Devin. Queens of Combat. I've heard so much about it. I usually follow Shine Wrestling, WSU, and Shimmer. And I've been hearing so much about Queens of Combat. And like you said, you're part of that promotion. Talk about Queens of Combat and that being like your home. And you out there competing with some of the top tier women wrestlers in the world. And for those who may not be familiar with Queens of Combat, just talk about the promotion and what makes them, unique. What makes them separated from other women promotions out there.
Right. For me, Queens of Combat is very special to me. And before I even get off on Queens of Combat, I do want to, let everyone know that they just opened an Instagram account. Like they had gone, I guess at this point maybe 2.5 years without an Instagram, but Queens of Combat does have an Instagram now. It is at Queens of Combat, just like the Twitter at Queens of Combat as well. They are a promotion along the lines of like a Shimmer or a Shine, but obviously you get to start with us at the very beginning of Queens of Combat. I believe we are about like 2.5 years old now at this point. With our cards are great because it's one of the first, it was the first all women company that I, had a chance with, and so that's why it's so special to me. And because they kind of put me out there and they believed in me, and I definitely just wanted to give them my all. But it's great because you have established women out there on the card, and along with like up and coming women and girls from different places that you might not see at a Shimmer or a Shine. And then again, some familiar faces that you would see at a Shimmer or a WSU or, one of those other all-female shows. We're going through a couple of changes right now, I believe. We went, I think, a couple months without a show, but now we have the Queens of Combat show coming up, WrestleKid Weekend, this month, at the end of the month in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, following the big WrestleKid convention, the weekend of Thanksgiving. And then also there is some talks for a January show as well. So there are like really good things coming for Queens of Combat, but I suggest anyone that has not checked it out, definitely check out the website, combatqueens.com. Check out the Women's Wrestling Network. That's where all of our content is. And then, of course, if you prefer DVD, for your content, you can definitely pick up a Queens of Combat DVD at highspots.com. This sounds like a commercial. I don't mean for it to. I just want to get, Queens of Combat out there and let everyone know what's going on with us. We have a lot of different like characters. I think it's a cool product to check out for sure.
So many big names in the women wrestling scene has been a part of Queens of Combat. Taylor Hendricks, Josie, Sue Young, Jessie Bell. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I definitely like to get, Queens of Combat, get them their well-deserved recognition, because everyone, all the men and women who made Queens of Combat what it is today, and go check them out if you're in the North Carolina area. Carolina, the Carolinas, well, especially in the North, quite the wrestlers have come out and succeeded there. Cedric Alexander, the Hardy Boys, yourself, and the list goes on. And R-Truth. Carolinas, they do it big. They're not just Michael Jordan out of college basketball.
Right.
It's an incredible wrestling scene out there, and people need to check them out. And you mentioned WrestleKid, and that was the next thing I want to talk to you about. I've been to a variety of conventions. I've been to like horror, paranormal, and comic cons, but I've never been to a full-fledged wrestling convention. That's probably the next thing I want to go to at some point in my life. WrestleKid is coming up, one of the biggest wrestling field conventions. A list of who's who in the wrestling business that's going to be there, from the indies to the pros. What's it like to be part of a convention like WrestleKid, to have all these big names, and it's in your home state of all places?
It's great. Like you said, you get, the home state fans that come in, they already know, the product or your work in particular. But last year, WrestleKid did have Queens of Combat on the Sunday after WrestleKid, and it was a big deal. I can speak personally for myself, like for Queens of Combat to be a part of, that WrestleKid weekend, it was great because that crowd is already there from the convention, from the wrestling convention. So a few of them are sticking around, that Sunday once the convention's over. But, they threw Queens of Combat on, Sunday at noon. People are still hanging around. So people, Queens of Combat that maybe had never come to a show before. So that was great. And then again, they're doing it again this year. Queens of Combat is going to be, I believe it's Sunday at 1, and then at 4 o'clock they're doing an AML show taping as well. So there's a lot more things going on this WrestleKid weekend than the years before. But a wrestling convention, one especially like WrestleKid, it's huge. It's amazing. If you've never been to one before, it will blow your mind. Like, there's so many people there, so many legends, so many current stars. They're bringing a lot of different people, and even they have the WoW ladies coming in, and a lot of people that I think legends that were involved with original Starrcade. They're going to be there, even though WWE is bringing their Starrcade there that same weekend. I'm sure everyone's heard about that as well. Yeah, but WrestleKid is special. They got a lot of things going on. I believe it's that Thursday, I misspoke. They're doing a showcase of champions. So it's a couple different companies. They're bringing their talents in, and that's going to be kind of like a super show. Then they're doing the actual, WrestleKid show. I believe that one is on Saturday. And then, like I said, Sunday at the Queens of Combat and AML taping. And then that Friday is like signings. Like, there's a whole bunch of signings. There's all bunch of things going on. There's even activities after the signings. They have a night with Ken Shamrock. I think it's an interview session with him, I believe. And then last year they did a Mid-Atlantic special for that DVD that they put out. So it's just a lot of activities to do in one weekend for someone who is from a super wrestling fan to just, a casual wrestling fan. There's a lot of stuff to be had and be seen and to take in.
Oh, yeah. WrestleKid, November 24th through the 26th. And that's at Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Of course, Starrcade, that's in Greensboro. That's on Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend. So that's a big weekend in itself for North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So just go check out WrestleKid. If you're a wrestling fan, whether young or old, they got someone for everybody, young or old.
Right.
And
I think about that information incorrect again. It's not Thursday, because obviously Thursday Thanksgiving. Yeah. It's Friday. Yeah. So for anyone, that's going to be a big weekend. You got Thanksgiving on Thursday. Everyone's going to be happy and full, and then you can go Friday, Saturday for WrestleKid. Sunday you can stay for Queens of Combat and AML. But regardless, it's a lot of wrestling one weekend, a lot of stuff to get in.
Wow. So that begins Black Friday. So people are going to be going, and that's the crazy shoppers day. So that's gonna be some crazy people trying to get them autographs or something. I don't know. Um, from a fan's perspective, with so many names that's going to be there, who of all the guests are you wanting to meet the most? That you want to, meet in person the most from a fan standpoint?
Oh man, that's pretty tough. I was at WrestleKid last year, so I did get to, I think, kind of take it all in. Um, Man, this year though, I don't think he was there last year or the year before, but they're having Ken Shamrock come in. And when I was younger, like first watching wrestling, The Rock and Ken Shamrock, those were my favorites at the time. So I probably would definitely want to say hey to him at this year's WrestleCade.
The world's most dangerous man, and one of
That's
the
right.
first, and that name Ken, that's a wonderful first name, considering that I'm a fan of Ken myself. So shout out to Ken Shamrock. He should be in the Hall of Fame. Damn it, I'm just gonna say that right there. So man, where do I go from here? PWI had its top 50 women wrestlers of 2017. It was posted last week. And just like every single year, there's a lot of yays and a lot of nays as far as where people are ranked. As a female performer, like you said, that like do you look into that just to see? Do you pay too close attention to the list to see where people's rank? And I mean, what's your take from it if you were able to see it?
I kind of will casually look at a list like that. I don't think I have yet taken the time to really, really look at this year's, but I get the general feeling that with recent years, as the years go on, that people kind of take less and less of that to heart or, personally. But like I said, I haven't looked at it yet this year. But, I did see a couple people posting their rankings, like whether they were the same as last year or higher or lower than last year. But definitely not as much as you used to see, like a few years ago, like when the guys used to post theirs and, oh, I'm this number or I'm that number. And I personally don't feel like I see as much of people tweeting that as they used to or commenting on that in social media.
Yeah, I mean it's tempting. I get it. There's people that was ranked high, then there's ranked low, and there was people that was ranked the following year. I mean last year. Then there's the ones that's not ranked at all. I guess me as a wrestling fan, I look into it just so I can see who's out there outside of WWE and Impact and other companies. There's some wrestlers that I never even heard of before, and it makes me want to check out their videos, their wrestling matches on YouTube to see what these people see, I guess. But but there are some that I'm happy to see on that list. Oscar was going to be number one by default. I mean, there's no disputing Oscar being number one. If anyone has an issue with Oscar being number one, you haven't been paying attention these last couple of years because that woman is incredible. Okay, there's no disputing that whatsoever. 2 through 40, 2 through 50, I'll leave that to everyone else. But Oscar's number one. I'm good with it, and it's hard. I get it. Like people look at it, and wrestlers in particular, it's like, man, I'm not on there. Like, come on, like, and I get it. It's just people's opinion. It's people's opinion, I guess. Can't please everybody, and especially if you got a 500 men's list, and that's more difficult than trying to squeeze 50 women out there, I guess. But in the end, they do this every year. They're gonna keep doing it, and it's just a matter of how you feel about it, or you don't feel a certain way about it at all. They're gonna do it regardless if people like it or not. You know, they're a magazine for a reason. So in addition to WrestleKid, you're coming back to Girl Fights Wrestling. December 19th. There's going to be a 8-woman tournament to determine a new number one contender for the Girl Fight Championship, currently held by Su Yung, who's had that title for almost a year now. And you are in this tournament. I guess they're not gonna announce the first round matchups until in the coming weeks or whatever. But how does it feel to be in this tournament to determine a number one contender?
Oh man, it feels amazing. Like you said, Su Yung is the current champion, so everyone's gunning for her, obviously. But we have this tournament set up, and you know, to get that number one contender spot, I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of girls at a girl fight. But I especially, obviously, am looking to fill that number one contender spot, and then challenge Su Yung for her title. I think that'd be a great matchup.
So let's take a look who's in this tournament as of right now. So there's you, there's Mickey Knuckles, there's Amazing Maria, whom you faced at the last girl fight in Indiana. You have Callie, you have Thunder Kitty, I think that is, Wendy Rest. Man, it's gonna be quite a show. And it's just in time for the holidays. This is probably their last girl fight event of the year. So if you're in the Jeffersonville, Indiana area, go check it out. Support women's wrestling. Support Indies wrestling. And I got all those pictures that you got in your merchandise at the end of the show last time. So you're going to have any new merchandise that people need to keep an eye on?
I definitely need to get some more shots. I probably will look to get some here in a little bit before WrestleKid. So I should, because I know, like you said, you've bought definitely a few from me, especially in person. So, I think that was at the end of July, the other girl fight that we were at. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I should be looking to have a few more shots. And obviously, obviously, too, I do some 8x10s online. If everyone else is interested, that's where they can just hit me up. I got promos for sale. I'm working on some T-shirt ideas, too. So there should be a lot of good things coming down soon.
And go ahead and promote your social media feeds where people can check you out, and how can people book you for shows?
Yes, if anyone like to book me, you can contact me through any of my social medias as well. And then also anyone looking to buy merchandise that maybe you can't catch me at your local show, or you just need some before the next show that I'm going to be at, definitely hit me up as well. My Twitter, like you said, is Savannah Evans, and then the letter N, the letter V, because Savannah Evans by itself was taken already. No special thing there for that. Okay. And then for my Instagram and Facebook, it's Savannah EVS. So that's where you guys can find me. I try to stay as active as possible on my social media, especially the Facebook one. Twitter is more usually it's going to be retweets. Sometimes I'll tweet something original or like show dates where I'm going to be at. Instagram is usually just show dates and things of that nature. But I also sometimes am active on the Instagram story feature that they have. So, just follow me, drop a line, say hey, or comment on a picture, purchase 8x10 if you want to, you can just say hey, whatnot. Like I said, promoters can message me there as well. I do like to travel, and I'm willing to travel. I currently have South Carolina and Virginia license. I think I'm going to be renewing those in January. So, if you'd like to see me at a certain show, just hit me up. We'll try to make it happen.
That is awesome. So check out Savannah Evans, WrestleKid Weekend. and Girl Fight Wrestling. So in addition to the convention and Girl Fight, what are some other upcoming shows you have for the remainder of 2017?
The remainder of 2017, like you said, there is a WrestleKid happening, and then the weekend after that, I will be debuting in California at AWS Promotions out there in Los Angeles. It's Southgate, but it's right there at Los Angeles. So it's my first time working in California. I'm super excited about that. And then that's through the Rise promotion. So if you guys have not checked out Rise, you can do that as well. They have granted so many girls like opportunities to work different places, different companies that they've never worked before. You know, some girls have gone over to England most recently with them, and it's just a good opportunity for women to learn, you know, from other women or just, you know, from anyone. Like I went to a Tom Pritchard seminar that they did recently. So they're a good tool for any female wrestler to have. And then as well, they do run shows in addition to that. So fans can take a look at that, get their hands on that, visit the Rise website. So that is the first weekend of December. And then after that, I believe I have a show in Georgia. A couple weeks after that, I will be wrestling Sahara 7 out of Virginia. The weekend before that, December 8th, I'm actually wrestling in South Carolina for OSCW against Samantha Starr. So we'll be meeting again for those who enjoy the matchups of Samantha Starr, Savannah Evans.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Savannah, for your time. And you being with me for almost the entire second half of the show, which is wonderful. And continued success. Keep doing your thing. You can catch her at WrestleKid, catch her at Girl Fight Wrestling, catch her at the other shows that she's mentioned. And check out our social media feeds and go follow the Queens of Combat Instagram page. They're going to be very active on there. Last chance to watch Ric Flair's documentary on Tuesday?
I didn't. I was actually at the gym when it was on, so I took a couple minutes to look at it. You know, they had it playing on one of the screens, but I haven't had a chance to really sit down, and I didn't see it when it came on Tuesday when it originally aired. But I do want to check that out in its entirety.
It's very compelling. Very, very compelling. Like, he really dig deep into this one. And there are going to be some things that even shock you that you may not have known from Rick. Going through the struggles and everything. So it's definitely worth the watch when you get a chance. And I will try to make plans to head to Indiana at Girl Fight Wrestling. Besides, a friend of mine named Scott Diamond is like, you better be there. So I'm gonna try to be there.
Yeah, don't let him down.
So I'm trying. You know, he knows where I'm at. Well, not where I live, but he knows I'm in the same area he is. So I'll definitely try. You know, to get there. So continue success. Thank you for being on. You have a good night, Savannah.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me back. Like, this has been really good to kind of, you know, I told the first part of the story. Now I get to come back and tell you what I've been up to lately. So it's been a good talk, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Keep